Better marketing.
Better movie.
No, it's put out by Disney. Of course it's going to get that many theaters.
There you go.
You can't
There's a positive point right there. You can't argue with the facts. All right, there's our match. There it is. All right, I'm going to figure up the scores here, and so like I said, this new scoring system. There's 6 categories that we're going to discuss each episode, and I award points based on the argument. I take away points based on dumb things they say. And then...
And God, we can say some dumb shit.
If there is a tie, if they each win 3 categories, then we go to the individual points. So, this week's winner is going to take me a second, because I have to count up the individual points.
Well, go through
the categories?
Go through the categories and who scored how many in each category.
So, Vic actually, I thought, was going to win this in a landslide. He came out and he won the first 2 categories, plot and acting. But I kind of started to think that Corey was expecting this.
This is payback.
He loaded. No, he's talking about the fact that you had so many facts loaded up towards the end of it.
I meant that just how bad the plot and acting in his movie was. But then he came back with direction, and
couldn't do anything about it.
Vic didn't really have much of an argument for that. And then I also thought he took down the production argument as well. And then music. I mean, come on, Vic. Classic rock versus LL Cool J. Come on now.
But his argument for LL Cool J wasn't even the actual song. It was their version of that song.
So then, now here's the thing. I thought it was going to come down because Corey was up 3-2 going into the haymaker round, and I thought that he was going to this. And then when he started his argument, I was like, I see where he's going with this. But then his argument made no sense.
Oh.
So he ended up with
-2
for that round. God, you started an argument with my movie made $26 million total. Your movie made $17 million opening weekend, and I was like, well, he surely didn't mean to say that.
Yeah.
And we asked you again. You go, oh no, my movie made $5 million opening weekend, while yours made 17. That was the argument you tried to present. You tried to dig yourself up after that, but by that point in time, it was somebody stop the damn match. So, going on the individual points, give me just a second here.
So that was a tie.
Like
The
category
was
wise,
33.
Yeah. He won the haymaker round. Like I said, all you would have had to do was go by our budget was this, and this is what it made. Because I'm guessing the budget was probably around $2 or $3 million. So you could have gone with the whole argument of we made over 10 times the budget. Blah blah blah. Probably would have sealed the victory. But give me just a second here. By a final score of 24-20.
Ooh, that's a close one.
That is.
The winner for this week. All right, commercial time. We'll be back with the winner right after this, but we're going to let you know where you can find all of us on the social media spectrum, and I'll let you know about some upcoming shows. So, Corey, why don't you go ahead and give us your information?
All right, you can find me on Letterboxd, Instagram, Twitter. I think that's it at NKO Gonzo.
And that's across all platforms, right?
That's
NKO Gonzo.
Yep, NKO Gonzo. And you can also find our podcast, The Showdown, on Twitter as well, at The Showdown Pod.
And check out for his new independent film coming up, Schindler's List 2, The Revenge. Vic, where can we find you at?
You can find me on Instagram at MillerKing51, on Twitter at MillerKing51, on Xbox at Black and Angry, that's BLAQ and Angry.
All right. That used to be my joke. Okay. It's a good one. You can find me on Facebook, the new Facebook page, Brad Scott. Comedian Brad Scott will be gone as soon as I can get to an actual computer. Mine broke. And on Twitter and Instagram at Indy Brad Scott, INDY Brad Scott. Upcoming shows this weekend, I will be in Wausau, Wisconsin at Cuckoo's Nest Comedy Club. And February 6th and 7th, I will be hosting at Crocker's Comedy Club in Broad Ripple for Joey Gladstone himself, Dave Coulier.
Cut it out. I didn't know you were going to go with that joke.
Yeah. And then February 13th, you can find me at the Harlequin Theater in Columbus, Indiana, and Valentine's Day, February 14th. No other place my girlfriend wants to spend Valentine's Day with me than Martinsville, Indiana. Vic, you probably shouldn't go to that show.
No,
you don't want to.
I'll stay on this side, too.
Follow us, like us, the podcast itself, the Showdown Podcast on Facebook, the Showdown Pod on Twitter, and soon to be Instagram. Please give us a like, a follow, send us comments, thoughts, ideas, any movies you'd maybe like to see us put into battle, or any categories you'd like to see us go into battle with. And yeah, just let us know what you think of the show, and we'll be right back with this week's winner. Ladies and gentlemen, from Corey Miller's kitchen, we go to the scorecard. Judge Brad Scott, the only judge, scores the fight 24-20.
I thought it was 22-20.
Pretty sure I said 24.
Okay.
20-something to 20 in favor of the Wildcats.
Yeah!
Corey Miller.
You know what that deserves?
You're going to torture him after all
that? After that.
You know what would have been better if you would have gone with, how about them Wildcats?
All because he had Nipsey Russell in his movie.
It didn't. Honestly, I'll break it down. Plot. You won 6-5. Acting. You won 5-4. He smoked you and directed.
There's nothing I could do.
That was one of the biggest. And then production was even. He edged you out 5-4. Music 6-1. Again, you didn't even mention. And the biggest thing was, I could have gotten past the classic rock. You didn't mention a single song that was from the movie.
Here's
you just
the
kept
problem.
saying classic rock.
Here's the problem.
I
didn't remember the category, so I didn't remember that music was one of them.
So there was like a way that you could look up the soundtrack.
No.
Possibly at your fingertips and maybe in front of a screen. In an OtterBox in front of you. You would have stood a chance. And then the haymaker was 2-2 in favor of Vic. Because again, Corey just brought one of the worst arguments. So that's our episode this week. We're going to go ahead and give you a little bit of chatter to close out your couple of weeks that you're going to miss us.
Because you haven't heard enough of us yet.
Exactly. So let's go ahead. It's championship weekend as we record now. Tomorrow, our beloved Colts play a big game against the evil empire, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. I meant we as in good people.
God damn it, I'm a bad person again.
So let's go ahead and get some AFC and some NFC. Let's start with the AFC. Vic, who you got, Patriots or Colts?
I'm actually going to go with the Colts because I can't stand the Patriots.
I'm gonna look at this. Oh man, Pagan, I cannot stand the Patriots.
He is a Dolphins fan.
I am a Dolphins fan.
Vic,
I am an Eagles fan.
An Eagles fan. Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Colts are my number 2. Not to be confused with the other number 2. I got to go with the Colts on this one. I don't know. I don't think New England has enough, and I just got that feeling. I think the Colts are going to take this one.
I'm going with the Colts as well. I think part of it is I think we have the better quarterback right now. I think Luck's better than Brady right now, as they are today. And 3 words. Team of destiny. You see these teams a lot. It didn't happen really last year with Seattle, but it happened with Baltimore, happened with the Giants, both times for the Giants. Even when the Colts made their championship run in 06 and 07, they started as a wild card team playing on the road. And you have these teams. They get hot at the right time. They get healthy. The Colts are the first time they've practiced all 53 guys, I believe, since the beginning of the season. Okay. And everybody's healthy and ready to go.
I think that also there's a certain level of drive for them to get some payback. because
Well, yeah.
New England screwed the
But I
Colts
mean,
on a number of occasions.
I don't buy into that stuff as much because it's like if you're at this level, you should playing for a chance to go to the Super Bowl should be motivation enough.
Yeah,
Whether
well,
you forget the whole revenge
anything
thing.
anything that will drive you more when you're playing a sport, it's there.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't mean to tell me that. And Andrew Luck's like, no, we really got to beat these guys. They beat us 3 times in a row.
Andrew Luck doesn't care.
Nah, he's great. He's so great. I knew we were going to beat Denver. Because he doesn't have the happy feet. Peyton, love you, brother, but come on. He's done.
Definitely doesn't.
So let's go to the NFC. Corey, who you got between Seattle and Green Bay?
During the preseason, I made my predictions of who's making to the playoffs, who's making to the Super Bowl. I had Pittsburgh in for the AFC, but and obviously I'm wrong about that. The NFC, I had Seattle, so I'm sticking with Seattle.
Okay, Vic.
I'm going to go with Green Bay.
Okay.
I'm not really a huge fan of either one of the teams. I've never followed the Seahawks at all. Green Bay has had some pretty stellar players and just a strong team overall. So I'm going to go with them. I'm
going to go with Seattle because that building is insane to try to play football in. I'm working with Steve Ranazizi this week from FX's The League, and he was telling me...
You pick that up here.
Yeah, thank you. Put that back in my pocket because I'll probably be needing it later. He went to a Seahawks game a few weeks ago, and he told me, he's like, it's unreal. You have to actually be there to completely understand how loud that place gets, because he said it's like the way that the stadium is built, it's all like steel or aluminum or something. He said it's just like yelling in a tin can. It just controls all the noise and floods it back onto back down. So he's like, it's just like you're screaming inside a giant tin can. You have thousands of people screaming inside a giant tin can, and he said it's just unreal. He said didn't need to wear like protective ear. Like, he didn't have to wear, like, any headphones or anything, but he just said it was insanely loud. So I picked it, and Rodgers isn't 100%. So
a lot of people don't think that actually plays into it, but it does.
No, that plays in.
That noise level and not
they caused an earthquake.
To hear properly.
Allegedly.
No, they caused it. They fucking caused it. I give it to it. But no, interesting you said that. If the Colts and Seahawks win this week, this will be the 3rd year in a row I have correctly predicted the Super Bowl. I kind of don't count last year because I felt like everybody was picking Denver and Seattle. It felt like it was an easy pick. But 2 years ago, I called the San Francisco-Baltimore game to bet with my friend Mark.
What, 2 weeks before the Super Bowl?
No, preseason.
Oh, preseason?
Yep, right before week 1, and that's when I've done them every year. And this year, I picked Colts Seahawks. Colts, I knew I was kind of picking with my heart because I felt like the AFC was too. Did
you go through
up for grabs?
When you did it? Did you have them do the tournament style and say, okay, is that how you figured out? You just figured, I'm just going to go with these 2 teams.
No. NFC, because I knew Seattle was going to be Seattle, so I figured they'd have generally 7 to 8 guaranteed wins at home, so they're probably going to get a first week bye, and I don't think anybody can go into Seattle in the playoffs and beat them right now.
Right.
So I figured if they get home field advantage, they're probably a lock to get there. And then in the AFC, like I said, it felt like it was a grab bag. And I thought, well, this is Luck's 3rd year. He's looked good in the first. He's improved over the first 2. I'll go ahead and go with the Colts. I mean, I wasn't thinking like, this is just with my heart. I'm picking this, but it was 2 up for grabs.
I think I had the Colts. I had them a number 2 seed, so I was slightly off on that.
Close.
I had Pittsburgh at number 1 though.
But
I was way off on that.
But yeah, I think the Colts are going to do it, and hopefully then we'll have let's go with I'm going to pick the Colts over the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. Corey, you have the Colts and Seahawks. Who you got?
Oh God, this is a tough one. We're going to a neutral field too, so you don't have to. Seattle doesn't get the advantage on that. They both Colts playing a dome. This will be in a dome, but the domes tend to not favor anybody, so I can't use that.
Make sure you go through the rest of your list of things that don't factor in.
Because that's always important.
They beat Seattle last year. I'm going with Colts.
Vic?
We going with me? We're talking Seattle or
you picked Green Bay and the
Okay.
Colts. So Green Bay and the Colts is your Super Bowl. Who do you got coming out of that?
I'm going blindly on luck, so I'm going to say the Colts. Like what I did.
See what he did there?
Yeah.
That was luck with a capital L. I'm going to go with the Colts as well. I'm not going to bet against this